Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Sports, your daily guide to all that's happening on India's tour of England. I've got a power pack panel on Beyond the Boundary. First up, we've got Abhijit Da, who's joining us from Delhi. Pratyush joins us from Delhi. And from down south, we've got Dwaipan Datta, who has joined us from Chennai. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. I'll start off with you, Dwaipan. What was that session that just took place? 172 runs in that session and just two wickets, that too in the first part of the session. But after that, it was just completely brutal from Jamie Smith and Harry Brook. And it was 4 runs short of 176 that England scored in one session in Rajkot last year. But it was a sensational batting from Jamie Smith, who scored at 100.
Yes, actually, Chandresh, we should remember that on this same pitch, the Indian lower order, which got 31 and 42 in the last two innings, got 200. So we can very well understand what this pitch is, and it was England's horrible batting yesterday and a bit of bad luck and some injudicious batting again today that made it 80 for 5. Like this is not an 80 for 5 pitch, or nor is the Indian bowling an 80 for 5 attack. So bowl so it was a mystery of nature that it was 80 for 5 when it was and then of course Jamie Smith batted brilliantly. Ravindra Jadeja has forgotten bowling on good pitches in red ball cricket. He bowls a limited overs length, slightly short, because that is the length which works in Test cricket in India. It gets him wicket because he even does not know which way the ball turns. So that has spoiled him so much, and keeps bowling. He has, because he cannot turn the ball. He does not have the confidence of giving the ball a little bit of air, which is absolutely vital on a pitch like this, deceiving the batsman in flight. When your premier spinner can't do that, then you are in trouble on a pitch like this. When you have 80 for 5, you have the spinners have to take over. If the spinners cannot take over, it is going to happen. England batters are good batters. They launched a counter attack and got the runs. I still think India is in the driver's seat. If they get two more wickets somehow, then they should get a 250 run, 300 run lead. But it is it is sad. It is sad. From 84 for 5 where they are, it is plain sad.
Abhijit Da, after the first test match, Prasidh Krishna came for a press conference where he put his hand up and said, I have learned from my mistake. I will do my stuff. I'll ball better. And I know what I did wrong. And he didn't seem to learn. That one over where he gave away 23 runs, he just kept bowling at the same spot. And Jamie Smith had to just line himself up, and that was the over that just completely opened up the floodgates.
You see, they were setting a trap for Jamie Smith, but in this case, the hunter got himself enmeshed in the trap. Because he lacked pace and a decent length to pull off what he wanted to theoretically. Theoretically, you might have a plan, because once in the previous test, he had got Jamie Smith out on a short pitch delivery, trying to pull. He thought that he will do it again. Probably it was the team's plan, but it didn't work out. But having said that, let us accept that Jamie Smith played an exceptional innings. England have been playing cricket for 148 years. This is the third fastest century in the history of English cricket. Jamie Smith is a very, very good batsman in English conditions. Away from England, his average is 30, but in England, his average is 60. His strike rate is 73, which is just one point less than what Rishabh Pant has. So, he's a hard-hitting bowler who takes the challenge, and in this case, everything he did came off right. Having said that, India had their opportunity to break this partnership, because there were a couple of half chances. One which came Washington Sundar's way, another which off Harry Brook, it fell between the first slip and the valley. Uh, and at that point of time, Ravi Shastri rightly said that we are still 470 runs ahead. Why, why don't we have a second slip? That said something about Shubman Gill's captaincy. And thereafter, Shubman Gill himself dropped the catch, which I think hit his forehead. That was a high push of Harry Brook. Jadeja was the bowler. And have seen people like Pahane, Rahul Dravid, and many others take that catch. Shubman himself is an exceptional fielder. But in this kind of with this kind of pitches, you're not going to get too many chances. And yesterday, we managed to grab the chances which came our way, unlike the first test, which is why we managed to put England on the back foot. We will get our chances, a couple of them again in the next couple of hours, but we have to take them. If we don't take them, then this match again could slip away. I want to give you a very interesting fact that England in this regime in the last 3 years has conceded over 550 in 3 tests. One in Rawalpindi against Pakistan, when Pakistan scored 579. Then again, New Zealand had scored 553 in Nottingham, and again in Multan, Pakistan had scored 556. And you know what was the result of that match? In all those 3 tests were won by England. So don't count out that extreme result, which might seem very, very unlikely at this moment. And India, England generally gets its act together in the second innings. So it is quite, the game is interesting. We have to, whatever we need to do, we have to do in the second session, which is going to be, I think, the a very, very decisive session of this test.
Yeah, Pratyush, we have a bunch of comments. I just want to throw to them. Abhinav Vivek has sent in a bunch of comments. First up is, see my comment in the previous live of 3 p.m. I asked Prasidh retirement before only. And then he says, England will take a lead of 50 runs in the next session. And he says, Smith will make triple century within the next 150 balls. And he also says, Abhinav Vivek says, Prasidh is not a premier bowler. His on-page age is different, while real age is of retirement. Just look at the head of Prasidh while delivering. At the end of the day, England will be at 800. And he says, and I quote, I said yesterday only, even if India makes 800, then also England will win. Gill has no clue because these are all actually retired bowlers. Journalists don't have guts to ask BCCI tough questions. Come on, Pratyush, show some guts.
Guts so BCCI. I think
तो
we
फर्स्ट
should blame.
सिलसिलेवार तरीके से सबका जवाब दीजिए.
हाँ, सबका. First, I think we should blame it to Virat Kohli. In one spell of Prasidh Krishna, I don't know when he said that he is ready for Test cricket. Second, I think Abhinav ji, हमें अगर किसी को blame करना है, तो we can't blame it on Nehru. So let's blame it on Pakistan. This is where bad, right? And they thought that Rawalpindi road is so good, where Harry Brook can score a 300, everyone can just score. They carried that pitch to England also. So उस पे रही बात अभी बाकी है प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा. And Prasidh Krishna is, I don't think, again I repeat myself, he has not gone through the first class rigor. You have to see how many first class games continuously back to back he has played, and whether he was ready, I don't know. I still have my doubts. I still feel that Mukesh Kumar was or Anshul Kamboj, इन दोनों में से किसी एक को लेना चाहिए था. And what he has learned, I think उनके लाइफ में win कुछ नहीं चल रहा अभी. So अभी let's cut some slack to the guy. He's been like hammered throughout the ground. So I mean that's it. I mean cricketer अच्छा दिन होता है, but retirement, I mean still he is young. I think he can do better. If he'll again he should play. I mean yesterday Abhijit Da made a very valid point also. He hasn't even played that much of India A games. I think he should play that more first class matches, Dilip Trophy. He needs to learn how to construct his over. I think we have seen that in Sydney. He's bowled 2 or 3 good balls, लेकिन फिर वो 2-3 चौके छक्के वाले बॉल भी होते हैं. I don't know what he was trying to do with Jamie Smith. That over completely, that as Chandresh mentioned, that opened the floodgate. So I mean, this is the best we have, and maybe I mean again, I mean maybe Coach Gambhir and Captain Gill thinks that he is the guy who can do the job for them. So that's why he's in the team. Otherwise, Harshit Rana का नाम पहले आता. And yeah.
Dwepan, what do you make of that Prasidh Krishna effort? What was he trying to do in that over or consistently? He started off we thought yesterday also we saw first ball he bowled on legs and nicely clipped away last evening by Harry Brook. Or, well, I think it was Joe Root. Very first delivery that he bowled in this test match. And I thought, here we go again. And this morning he sort of pulled things back, but that one over he just kept bowling in that when it is not working, like even we who have not I have not played cricket at that level, we would know that you have to be smarter. Just because you've got him out in the previous test match like that, why do you keep persisting with that line? Is there nobody talking to him, or is it got into his head that he's an express fast bowler?
I think it has gone into his head that he's an express fast bowler. There is this idea of sticking to your strengths.
uh, Dwepan, I think we've lost Dwepan there. Abhijita, do you want to take that?
हाँ भाई, वही कह रहा हूँ कि इसमें वो डॉन फिल्म में वो अमिताभ जी ने गाना गाया था ना, अपने जाल में शिकारी फंस जाएंगे, ये
I
उनके
don't
साथ वैसा
know.
ही हुआ. हाँ.
Yeah, so
Yeah, go on.
yeah. So what baffles me is that like, see, let's break it up. Like, see, Prasid coming into the England series, he played the SCG Test match where he bowled really well. He bowled well. In the IPL, he was the highest wicket taker. So there was no way he could have been dropped. There's this narrative of that Prasid should not be there. That does not work. He had to be there. But being there, I think he was bad in the first innings in Headingley. Then he corrected his length, got those 2 wickets, looked good for a while, and then again he's going back. I think that short of length bowling that he's trying to bowl, he does not have the pace. He is not a Morny Morkel. That he has to figure out in his head. He may look like Morny Morkel, but he is not exactly a Morny Morkel. And another problem is he bowls. He lacks the discipline. He bowls both sides of the wicket. You cannot do that at that level. You have to keep bowling at that channel. If you are trying to find a replacement for Ishant Sharma, what was Ishant Sharma good at in the back end of his career? He used to bowl that off or outside the off stump channel, stifled the batsman, and finally got the nick. That is that discipline Prasidh Krishna is lacking. That has to come in. Like, I don't know why it is still not coming. It may come in the second because he has the ability to bowl a great spell out of nowhere. I hope that comes in the next session. But till now, what he has really lacked is discipline.
Abhijita, you were saying something. Sorry, we cut you off there.
नहीं, वो प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा की बात हो रही थी, बट आई थिंक वी हैव लाइक इस टेस्ट में और भी बहुत कुछ हो रहा है प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा के सवाल, और भी गम है जमाने में उनके अलावा, तो अगर हम उसकी भी बात कर सकते हैं.
But Abhijita, because you, I, and Dwepen are of that vintage, and Pratyush is not. He's still very young. Did that session, the session that just got over, remind you of the Sachin Tendulkar Mohammad Azharuddin carnage at Cape Town in '97? The way they batted over there in that session, it was much more cultured, but and a better bowling attack. But it was something similar, but this was more brutal.
This was more brutal. देखिए, that was on a very different pitch, and that was a very very brave counter attack by Azharuddin, especially because Azharuddin, मतलब, he was desperate, and if you see Azharuddin's average in that series, मेरे ख्याल से, if I remember right, he scored 119 in that innings, but in the next 5 innings, he had scored less than 50 or 60 runs, which is why he ended up with an average less than 30 in the entire series. But for those 2 hours, he was on top of the world, and he gave something to I mean, we watched that match live, and it was like there was one match in which Richie Beno had said that don't don't switch on the highlights. There's no need to watch the highlights package in the night. These are the highlights. So those 2 hours were the highlights package of that day, and it was exceptional because watching a fast bowler being clobbered by a batsman using his wrist is something very, very special, and we were fortunate to watch it that day.
Pratyush, Bhavik Patel says, how many players did BCCI take directly from Ranji Trophy? Compare this with how many from IPL. BCCI wants just brand value players. They will make money and blame the players.
ना भाई करुण नायर को इतना मतलब होने के बाद
So basically, he says that
stand
basically
this.
Bhavik, I think basically Bhavik means that Vidwat Kavirappa and what's that other one? Vijay Kumar Vaishak. These two guys who are part of the new fast bowling contract that was announced last year, but we don't know what happened this year. They should have been picked instead of Prasidh Krishna because they bowled more overs for Karnataka and Ranji Trophy.
फिर तो I don't know अभी आप लोग ज्यादा बेटर बता सकते हो. You guys have seen Doda Ganesh playing test cricket, right? तो अभी मतलब अब क्या जाना पीछे. So I mean, there's a process. ये जो हमेशा हम सुनते रहते हैं टेस्ट क्रिकेट से लेके रणजी से you take player from directly into the team. तब तो फिर भाई सरफराज को अब you can't even drop सरफराज, no. So I don't think that's the thing. I mean, in that matter, in that case, अगर ऐसा होता तो अभिमन्यु ईश्वरन would have easily played 30 tests by now. But Abhimanyu Ishwaran, that is a very classic case. If you go and see Abhimanyu Ishwaran for Bengal in quarterfinals, in finals, or in Australia for India A, in South Africa for India A, even in this batting one inning, he has failed to perform. This is a classic case of how Amol Majumdar was. Like he was a stalwart in domestic cricket, but whenever he turned up for India A, he never performed. So ऐसा नहीं होता. You'll have to. There's a filter. कि अभी आप मतलब ठीक है, you're performing in Ranji, you'll have to do well in Dilip Trophy. Then there is India A, and obviously yes, IPL का performance कहीं ना कहीं matter करता है. For example, you see the spark. If someone will see Sai Sudarshan's average first class, तो नहीं है ऐसा. But Sai has something in him, right? That's why he's got picked. So I mean, domestic cricket से रणजी ट्रॉफी से सीधा उठा के ये मतलब वही है. मतलब हमें मालूम है गालिब का है ना, हमें मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत. तो अभी जन्नत की हकीकत आपने देख लिया. करुण नायर द वे in 3 innings, so playing away from the body, loose shots. So ऐसा ही होता है. In Indian condition आप वैसा खेल सकते हो, but in England and all, you can't do that. There's a reason why KL Rahul is still with the team despite having average of 32. He's a terrific batsman, but still he's yet to own a test series. Right? He has 8 centuries in Sena countries. Why Ajinkya Rahane was so good. तो मतलब ये जो मतलब अंधविश्वास, इसको अंधविश्वास भी नहीं कहेंगे. There's some like एक बबल है कि रणजी को हम इग्नोर करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होता. We don't do that. There's a certain process. Yeah.
Daipen, as you can imagine, all our subscribers are seething with anger. So I'll just go straight to more comments from people. Cosmic Seer says NKR से भी बॉलिंग नहीं करानी है तो जुरेल को ही खिला लेते हैं या एक्स्ट्रा पेसर खिलाते ही क्यों है. 6.36 के रन रेट से खाए रन इस सेशन में. कंबोज से ज्यादा रेड बॉल खेला है पर कृष्णा एक आईपीएल बेसिस में खेल रहा है. आईपीएल का परफॉर्मेंस से पिक करना ही था तो रबाड़ा इस आईपीएल इतना गंदा खेला, ऐसे को डब्ल्यूटीसी फाइनल खिलाना नहीं था आईपीएल फॉर्म में. Can you sense the frustration and anger amongst the fans?
I can see the frustration and anger, but also people should understand what Pratyush is saying, that from Ranji Trophy you can take players for India A, and from India the graduation is from Ranji Trophy to India A, from India A to India. That is normally the graduation process in cricket these days. Like, then there are some players who kind of bypass these things because they show their class temperament somewhere. Like, I understand the frustration, but you cricket is not a game where you can have rolling substitutions. And if Anshul Kamboj was playing, I don't know if Anshul Kamboj would have been vastly superior to, would have been as good as Jasprit Bumrah. I really don't know. I saw him in IPL. I have seen a bit of him. Like, he's good, but not he's not a Jasprit Bumrah. So these we should take the थोड़ा perspective
Since
देखना चाहिए कि अगर
this latest comment to the rider XXX, Prasidh Krishna is garbage.
हाँ garbage, but अगर Headingley final day suddenly those 2 wickets that he got out of nowhere, at that point he was not looking garbage. Here, so what is garbage, and probably everyone is garbage then. Like, these Indian batters in Australia who you are going gaga over, Shubman Gill was garbage in Australia. So you cannot say that. Like, these are this is what it is. Like, this is what you have. The opposition has also come to play. They are not on a or an English summer trip. So they are also playing. So there will be occasions when these things will happen. Having said that, Prasidh Krishna did not bowl well in the first session, especially when we had them 80 for 5. But it is not just about Prasidh Krishna, as Abhijitda was saying. Let's talk about Jadeja. Let's like your spinners have to come into play. Day 3, 85 for 5. The spinners have to take over. Imagine if Kumble was there. Imagine if Ashwin was there. Would they have been able to be as adventurous as they are? No. That is why what we are missing is actually Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep
Yeah.
Yadav, the guile of Kuldeep Yadav is what we are missing at this stage. Like, he would have made a difference, because Jamie Smith, etc., they do not read wrist spinners from the hand. Harry Brook, Jamie Smith, it would have been a struggle for them, especially when the score is 100 for 5.
Abhijit Da, since I know that you're a big movie buff, so we have a famous movie character, Vijay, commenting on our video right now. He's saying it's going to be draw simple, and with England batting with England batting like this, what even is a safe target to set on day 5?
देखिए अभी दिल्ली दूर है क्योंकि कल जब हमने 587 पे डिक्लेयर किया था, सॉरी ऑल आउट हुए थे हम, तो उस समय किसी ने सोचा था क्या कि हम 3 विकेट निकालेंगे और आज फर्स्ट सेशन में विद इन हाफ एन आवर हम 2 विकेट निकालेंगे? तो आज ये जो हम डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, हमारा पिछला 10-15 दिन से जो हम बात करते रहे हैं इस सीरीज के बारे में, हमने यही डिस्कशन किया है कि इस टीम में इतनी काबिलियत नहीं है कि वो 20 विकेट्स ले सकें। अब पहली बार हम इस स्थिति में आए हैं जहां पे ठीक है हमें 20 विकेट लेने थे, हमने उसकी 1/4 ली है, 1/4 लिया है सिर्फ, but still there is a possibility that if we can get 2 more wickets in the next 2 hours, then we will be back on top in this test match. And हमें इसकी भी बात करनी चाहिए। एक दो पॉजिटिव चीजें हुई हैं इस टेस्ट में। एक तो ये है कि सिराज जो है उनका थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस लौटा है। especially the dismissal of Stokes is a sort of dismissal that charges Siraj out. Siraj like to hustle batsmen, और वो जो शॉर्ट पिच बॉल में वो पहली डिलीवरी थी, वहां थोड़ा सा किसी ने सोच के वो डिलीवरी डाली है, और ये काफी अच्छी बात है। विद जो रूट ऑब्वियसली it was a bit of luck, but that's a very good thing. And yesterday also, the 2 deliveries that got Jack Crawley and Ollie Pope out, sorry, Ben Duckett and Ollie Pope out by Akash Deep, they were bowlers deliveries. So हमने वो विकेट थ्रो अवे उन्होंने थ्रो नहीं किया, हमने अच्छी बॉल डाले और वो विकेट निकाला। सो अभी हमारे पास अच्छा खासा चांस है टू गेट बैक ऑन टॉप ऑफ द गेम। I do feel that Gill, the captain, is going through a learner's curve. और किसको कहाँ पे यूज करना है ये उनके साथ अभी एक समस्या है। और कल मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि उन्होंने थोड़ा ज्यादा बॉलिंग करवा दिया था आकाशदीप और सिराज से। मे बी ही कुड हैव शफल्ड द बॉलर्स अ लिटिल मोर। जब आपके पास 5-6 बॉलर्स हैं तो शफलिंग बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, किसको किसके सामने यूज करना है ये भी बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। और वॉशिंगटन सुंदर को उन्होंने काफी देर रोक के रखा, प्रॉब्ली ये सोच के कि दोनों राइट हैंडर्स हैं, पर ये सोच चलती नहीं है। मतलब इस तरह से सोचे तो कोई भी अच्छा ऑफ स्पिनर अगर है, अगर राइट हैंडर्स खेलना है तो उसको यूज ही नहीं करना है। काफी 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 देर से उनको लाया गया। तो और नीतीश रेड्डी को किस तरह से यूज करना है, तो ये काफी कुछ सवाल है। बट स्टिल लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट द बेसिक पॉइंट दैट वी आर जस्ट 1 or 2 wickets away from just getting deep into their tail, and with that we can even get them out for less than 300. That's also possible.
Pratyush, do you share that optimism?
I think so. I mean, if Siraj back, Siraj and Akash Deep with back, I think Prasidh Krishna say I don't have any hope. I've never had any hope. अभी में ठीक है, I mean जो है, but हाँ, again I raise a point against like what Jadeja is doing. Why? I mean Jadeja सही में जैसे मतलब I mean I don't know, he was ever his role always was holding right overseas. अभी वो क्या कर रहे हैं? He's looked clueless as a bowler. Headingley में same था, अभी यहाँ again है, and I'm like if you can get like couple of wickets after the break. I mean, break can do things. I think थोड़ा concentration भी इधर उधर जाता है. I think if Siraj still has that gas in him कि वो एक ऐसा spell जैसा morning में हुआ था, and Akash Deep, so we can get back into the match. I mean again you'll have to understand हम 211 से पे 5 पे पहुंचे हैं, and England is also there. Like I mean वो खेलने ही आए हैं, तो वो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि like हमें 20 विकेट दे के चले जाएंगे. You'll have to earn those wickets. We have bowled terribly bad. मतलब बहुत खराब था after that first spell, after first half an hour. So need to correct the length. I think जैसे कल का, I mean I'd like to point out कल जैसे that we are targeting the stumps. वो एक there's one thing that you'll have to do with these bass bowlers. ये वहाँ पे कमजोर होते हैं. If you'll give them the width on this pitch, तो वो फिर चौके छक्के ही लेंगे. You'll have to attack the stumps more.
Dwaipan, what should the team think tank, or rather the bowling coach and head coach, be telling the bowlers, especially now before they head out to the field? Because nothing seems to be working. They must have had a lot of talk before this test match with all the bowlers. But the same mistakes were committed by Prasidh Krishna. I'm sorry, I'm coming back to Prasidh Krishna because he is the one who like sort of opened the floodgates for the side over here. What should the team think tank be telling the bowlers and the captain?
I think the best thing that they can do is bowl one side of the wicket and try to pack that side. If need be, bowl a 6-3 field with a 6-3 field, so that because this is such a belter of a pitch that ball is not doing much. So at least make them take a chance to score runs. These guys cannot just stand there and not score. They are desperate to score. So the best thing to do if a couple of quick wickets do not happen is to pack one side up, maybe bowl a 6-3 field, dry up the runs and soak them, and soak up the runs and stifle them and get the wicket and push them to make mistakes. I think that is the way to go if 1 or 2 quick wickets do not happen early on.
Interesting. Avijit, what's your take?
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि the key is with सिराज. देखिए सिराज has played 38 tests for India और उनके सिर्फ 3 5-wicket hauls हैं. उनका his last 5-wicket haul came 15 tests ago. This time he has already taken 3 wickets. I think he should be inspired and encouraged. Boss, this is your moment. Grab your fifer. If he is the most likely to get us a breakthrough. Akash Deep ने जब अपना पहला इनिंग्स बॉल किया था रांची में, that was his only 3 wicket लिए थे उन्होंने. अभी उन्होंने 2 wicket लिया है. he can also produce the best spell of his career. These are the most two likely guys to get us a breakthrough. Jadeja is there, but the batsman has to do a mistake rather than Jadeja doing anything. He lacks his bowling lacks guile, and if the pitch is not helping him out, he doesn't seem to find a way to do anything. So my hope and is on Siraj and to some extent on Akash.
Pratyush, that previous session, 172 for 2, completely England session, looking at the way they batted and they counter punched India. What should India be doing in this session to make a comeback?
Take wickets, I guess. I think he'll have to take wickets and bowl. Uh, I think thorough. I mean, it is a learning curve for Shubman Gill as a captain also. थोड़ा सा in and out field रखें. I mean, you'll have to see where yesterday what he did, like he gave the fast bowlers that cushion कि boundary नहीं जा रहा है. There's a fielder. There was a plan. I think he should get back to that. So what the plan is, and again, target one channel where you want to bowl. Your bowlers can't be bowling all over the place like जो अभी हुआ. So discipline, if they'll show the discipline of that yesterday, that 1 hour of 1 hour जो 1 घंटे कल bowling हुई है, so I think they'll get into they'll take wickets, and I am hopeful that in this session India will bat again.
चंद्रश एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगा कि पिच बड़ा आसान है बैटिंग के लिए. इस टेस्ट में 25 विकेट नहीं ले सकते हम, 20 विकेट ही लेने पड़ेंगे. By which I mean that you have to take all the catches that come your way.
Absolutely. Dwepan, just one final thing. The baseball approach. Everybody keeps putting them down. Last year when they came to India, India won this test series 4-1. And we all said, look, there goes your baseball. Now, the baseball approach works well on such flat tracks where you can counter-attack, counter-punch. Is there no, do we really need pitches that aid the bowlers to take the sting out of the baseball approach in test matches?
I think you need skillful bowlers. Like if there are bowlers with enough skill, then the baseball approach I think can be countered, and of course a little bit of juice. If you remember the Ashes series, last Ashes series in England, till Nathan Lyon was available, England was trailing 2-0. Then Nathan Lyon got injured, then they made it 2-2. So if the opposition team is playing well, but there are a lot of problems with this baseball approach. This choosing to field on belters, this is a stupid this cannot be cricket. Like 600, opposition has put up 600 runs on the board. How is that a great captaincy, or great strategy? I don't know. That is also part of baseball. So there are a lot of problems. Problem is sometimes the opposition bowling is lacking skill. That is where these England batters are making merry. So it is skill. It is only thing that can control baseball is the skill of the bowlers. If there were a couple of more bowlers who were closer to the skill of Bumrah, this wouldn't have happened. India would have been in a better position. Unfortunately, we do not have that skillful bowlers or even that quality spinners anymore. So those are the things that slightly are a bit worrying. And I will just say one thing slightly out of context. How much will Jamie Smith go for in the next IPL auction, and who is going to take him? There are quite a few who need wicketkeeper batters, starting with KKR.
What about your own city?
My city, yeah, let's see. My city, if they are looking for Sanju
Samson. Sorry, it's a conflict of interest for you because we don't know Kolkata and Chennai.
No, Chennai won't go for him because he'll be too costly. Yeah, Chennai doesn't believe it. They wouldn't like to spend so much on a single player.
Yeah.
Trust Indians to come up with a discussion around IPL even during the middle of a test match.
Yeah. But I'm wondering the scouts of IPL. They are such brilliant scouts, but they did not see this talent of Jamie Smith.
I
He
think he
went
may not have
unnoticed.
wanted. I don't think he wanted to play. I think that was the case.
Is it? He
Uh,
was not
I,
there
I
in the auctions.
I don't know. I don't remember if he was in the auction or not there in the auction. But if,
या चंद्रेश एक बात बोलना चाहूंगा कि जेमी स्मिथ जो पाकिस्तान में गए थे ना वो बिल्कुल सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए थे. He has not been so successful on subcontinental pitches.
But Obhijita, वो last 2 test matches were on Turners. वो Turners में अटक गए थे. हाँ.
Yeah. Which might be difficult, different in IPL. You're saying, we can stop baseball, but you need 3 Bumrahs and 1 Shane Warne, so then it's possible.
okay. On that note, the players started post lunch, and the very first 4 deliveries have produced 4 runs, as is the want. So it seems like normal service is resumed at Edgbaston. That's it for today. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us, and thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us. Remember, you can like, share, and subscribe, and comment on these videos, and be part of the conversation. We'll be back again tomorrow. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. It's goodbye. God bless from all of us here at TOI Sports.